trying to get a head start here a little bit. Recording again today, but this one won't be opening up until tomorrow evening, or actually tomorrow before fifth period. So we have some more mass temperature and heat relationships. This is what we saw at the end of the last video from yesterday. This idea that we just developed a specific heat equation. I'm sorry. Pin, where did it go? We just developed the specific heat equation. Okay? And we're going to be using this to help us. So, but there's some other stuff that we need to know. The addition of C, the specific heat constant, allows for the proportionalities that we were discussing the other day to become an equality. The units for C are joules per gram degree Celsius, so the heat unit will be in joules usually. But there are many other units for heat. Joules, kilojoules, calories, and big C calories. These are also known as kilocalories, okay? So these two happen to be exactly the same. And you should be familiar because this is how we measure the energy in our food. Okay, so when you see CAL on a package, that stands for the calories that we eat. They're also kilocalories. They're not the small calories. That's a little different. So we've got lots of units to kind of get through. So let's see if we can get through that really quickly. So understanding heat units. Ultimately, there are two categories. There is SI and standard. We're going to talk about the standard first. Standard are the American ones, the ones that we use here in this country. We have calories, little c calories, and big C calories. Notice I underlined the C. That's because we use those when we're measuring our food. And kilocalories, they all fall into this category. 1 calorie, little c calorie, is the amount of energy required to raise 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1,000 little calories. That's lowercase c calories. And kilocalories are the same as capital C calories, and these are the ones on the food labels. So when we see a food label like this one on a candy bar, and we see that there are 230 calories, that means that there are 230 kilocalories, and that means that there are 2,300 little c calories, okay? That's what that means. All right, so kilocalories, calories that we count, are actually kilocalories. So that should help us make a little bit more sense of it. All right, so, and we're going to be using this. So this system is going to be used because we're going to be doing an activity where we're trying to determine the amount of energy released from a food item. Okay, so the System International, or the world view, which is the view that we use most in science, we use joules. And joules are the one that's most used by science. So it takes 4.184 joules of energy to raise 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. A joule is synonymous with the little calorie, so that's what we're talking about there. 1 kilojoule is equal to 1,000 joules. So here we have basically the same thing, but this is from Amsterdam. And you will notice where they say energy, this is where they get their energy from. Notice 150 joules, 35 kilocalories. They put it in joules, kilojoules, okay? So how did they figure all that out? How did they figure that it was 35 kilocalories and 150 joules? So, and this is how Europe does their stuff. So when you look on European labels, you're probably going to see it in that form. Maybe some that are still using the big C calories might say, but Amsterdam is definitely using the other one, okay? So relating heat units. Making sense of the hodgepodge of units can be hard, but it's quite easy with the conversion factor. So 1 big C, or kilocalorie, is equal to 1,000 calories. And that is equal to 4,184 joules, which is equal to 4.184 kilojoules. Okay? And that kind of makes a whole lot of sense when we think about this. This is just a big long conversion factor. All of these things are equal to one another. So we could transfer from one to the other. It doesn't really matter. We don't have to have all of them. So maybe if I had big C calories and I wanted to know joules, well, there are the two things that I compare. 1 big C calorie to those joules. If I wanted to find kilojoules, I'd look right there. So you know, we look at our units. Our units are going to define what we're going to use and how we're going to use those. So what we're going to use and how we're going to use those are going to be determined by the units we're given and the units that we have and how we want to do that. So these are all conversions, and they have an infinite number of significant figures, so remember that. These are considered exact numbers, and so we don't use them to determine significance. All right, thank you. Short one today.